my name is Allison, and I'm here to talk to you about sickle cell anemia so that you can understand more about what it means. Let's look through this booklet together. What is your blood made of? So when you get a scrape on your knee or a cut on your finger, if you could zoom in really, really close, you could see all of the different parts that make up your blood. So the first one is red blood cells, and these are oxygen and carbon dioxide carriers. They help with your lungs. After your lungs breathe in air, they take the oxygen to all of the parts of your body, and they also help take out carbon dioxide and bring it back to your lungs so that you can breathe it out. White blood cells are like little soldiers that protect and fight for you. They are your protection and defense system. Platelets help stop bleeding. They plug holes and make scabs like the cut on your finger. Because eventually when you cut your finger, the bleeding stops. Well, that's what platelets do. What is sickle cell anemia? Sickle cell anemia is a sickness of your blood. Some or all of your red blood cells aren't shaped the way they're supposed to be. This new shape makes it hard for your blood to move around your body as good as it should. But we'll talk about that more in a little bit. Sickle cells can get stuck. Since they're not soft and round like normal blood cells, remember how soft and squishy and round these look? Since they're not soft and round like the normal ones, they don't roll around as well, and they can get trapped and build up in places that they shouldn't, like your veins and your tummy and other parts on the inside of your body. Sickle cell anemia is an inherited disease, but we'll explain that a little bit more too later on. Only 1 out of 1,000 kids are born with sickle cell anemia in all of the United States. That means that you are very special and unique. You'll need to take medicine when your doctor tells you to, and sometimes you might not feel very well, or you might feel more tired than you usually do. Remember that you are just like every other kid and that your blood is just a little different. So let's talk about what that means, what sickled means. Remember how we said that normal red blood cells look a lot like this. They're round and they have little concave areas, but they're very round and they roll around inside your veins. But sickled cells look a lot like crescent moons. They have jagged edges and they're just not the same shape. Sickled cells don't move very well and they get stuck. Getting stuck means that blood can't go where it needs to, and blood can get stuck in places like your organs, like we talked about a little bit earlier. Blood not moving the way it should and organs holding too much blood isn't good. It can cause pain and problems for your whole body, and things won't always work how they should work. You might be wondering how you got sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia is not something that you can catch from others or give to them, so don't worry about your friends getting sick. Sickle cell anemia is an inherited disease, which means you were born with it. Having sickle cell anemia means that you have the whole gene for it. Do you see this circle completely colored in? A carrier is someone that carries half of the gene, but they don't have the disease. So these little circles up here are just half filled. When 2 carriers have a baby, there's a possibility that he or she might be born with sickle cell anemia because 2 halves make 1 whole. We're going to talk a little bit about sickle cell crises. What if you don't feel very good? Most people that have sickle cell anemia can live relatively normal lives, but there is a thing called a sickle cell crisis. This is when your body is having a hard time dealing with the sickled cells. When this happens, you'll feel pain in different places on your body. You might also look a little bit more pale, and your hands and feet might swell, which means that your fingers and toes might look a little bit more round than they usually do. Sickle cell crises are very rare, but here's what you can know about how you can help prevent a crisis from happening. Just remember a few things. You should always tell an adult when you don't feel well or when you're in pain. You need to make sure that you stay hydrated, so drink lots of water and juice. Listen to your doctors and always take your medicine. Avoid getting too hot or too cold. Sometimes getting too hot or too cold can cause pain. So don't stay out in the sun for too long or play in the snow for too long, and don't take baths or showers that are too hot. And finally, always say no to using drugs and alcohol. I hope that this helped you understand sickle cell anemia just a little bit more, but if you have any questions, please let me know.